So Melissa will often ask me, did you moisturize? Oh, and the answer 9 times out of 10 is no. I'm not good at the ablutions. I'm not good. I don't know. I feel like I could be doing something else. I brush my teeth, get the body reasonably clean, and then that's about it. So not even the last time, every time I go to the dermatologist, oh gosh, my knees, I think I wrote in my email this week, my knees looked like ostrich skin downwind of a dying campfire. So yeah, I'm like, oh, because I never really look at my knees, and then somebody else looks at your knees and you're like, oh, that's a crusty situation down there. So yeah, I'm not great on the grooming. Last week I posted a video. I was sitting in the pickup line at school and the sun was shining in, and there was this one nose hair that was just a gleam in the afternoon winter sun, and somebody decided they said they couldn't continue to watch the video because they were just too distracted by my nose hair. Can I get one right now in there? I don't know. It's probably not trimmed so well in there right now. I'm just hoping that my mustache will fuse and disguise any other rogue nasal hairs encroaching down to my lips. So, but yeah, and even eyebrows probably have a few little stray professor situations going on there. But Melissa and I were talking in bed the other night, and we were just saying, how funny it is to have a body. It's just a funny. Have you ever thought about that you have a body, and that's strange? And why are there bodies? Why are there anything? Yeah, I think the lighting is really terrible, but hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you won't be distracted by that and decide that you just can't watch anymore, because why is this guy walking down the street and talking to his camera? But yeah, that you have a body, and I think you start to really think about your body more as your body changes. So, I'm 46 now, so there are things that are different about my body than they were 10 years ago. And you catch yourself in the mirror, you're like, that's not so thick and juicy anymore, and you'll smile, and the lines that are beside your eyes continue to smile. So, and it's just interesting to watch your body change, or even your energy levels, or arriving at 9 p.m. and feeling like it might be midnight. So, and at the same time, Melissa and I talk a lot about what a blessing it is to age. She lost her mother at age 39, and so when her mother was 39. So it's just we reflect on that a lot, that it's a real gift to grow older. And I think when you're younger, at least when I was younger, you fuse your inner and outer identity. So, it's interesting, as your body changes, you look in the mirror and you see a changed uniform, but the you that lives inside, and I don't know what the situation is. Are we inside, outside, both? But the you that lives inside this body is essentially the same. So I remember my grandma Allie, my great grandma. She would say, her eyes began to fail her in old age, and she said to my mom, I believe, that she felt like she was still 16 inside there, and had waited to get older to finally do needlepoint and things like that. But then by the time she could do it, her eyes had failed her. So yeah, it's tricky having a body. But yeah, when I was younger, I think I depended a lot more on what this looked like to I merged it a lot more with identity. I made it mean more than it did. And I believe there's a reason we have a body. I don't think it's like, anyway, that's like a whole, I'm about to tangent hard, so I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna get hit by a car either. I'll keep my body alive. But I think as you get older, the benefit of that is that you start to see the distinction between the inner and the outer. At least that's my experience. And I think for me as well, this inner me, this spiritual me, this soul me, it has a clue about my maybe an unlimited nature or an eternal nature. And so it gets excited and has that sort of, I don't know, like an unlimited excitement, like nothing is impossible. And then I see that I am a body living, as far as I know, inside this space-time continuum. And I can be in one place at one time. And I can't do all the things that I want to do. And so that gets really tricky because, especially now, it gets really tricky because there's so much information flying at us, and mostly from the rectangle that you're probably watching this video on, the rectangle that I'm using to film this video. Oh, I got a walk sign over there. So there's just so much information that inundates us, and I don't think that the human mind is really built to manage that much information, or that much basis for comparison, that much information for opportunity. So no wonder we feel like we're not doing enough. And to decide to focus on something and allow yourself to have a limited focus, that requires you to actively barricade yourself, basically, from all of the information that could just flood in just by turning on your little rectangle. So that's another little aspect of it. So understanding, though, that there's got to be a beauty and a value in the boundary of being a teeny weeny little human. Because you see that in art all the time, that freedom flourishes inside of a boundary. If you've got a 14-line sonnet, or a 3-act play structure, or even like a 1, 2, 3 punchline joke setup. So creativity flourishes inside of a frame. And so we have this human frame that we are gifted, this tiny little blink of an eye we call a lifespan, to enjoy. And I am experiencing, now in my mid-40s, I am experiencing that it does speed up, it does feel faster. Older folks always told me that it speeds up, and maybe it's a context thing, I'm not sure, but I am experiencing it happen more quickly. And I've been thinking a lot, speaking of our bodies and our souls, I've been thinking a lot about my dad recently. My dad died 2 years ago, and I have just felt his presence around me very strongly lately. And like, I was driving into work last weekend for auditions, and I just had this deep sense that he is cheerleading for me, that he's pulling some heavenly strings. Just really advocating for me. And it's a wonderful feeling to have. Melissa actually had a dream about him a few weeks ago. It was like, she said she was dreaming, and then it was like he hopped in on whatever frequency she was on and invited her to sort of change the station and come with him. I think that's how she described it. And he literally sort of pulled her into another dream frequency. And it was in a, hold please, I will be right back. I'm gonna go get my coffee and my cup at the Amazing Flower Bakery. If you're ever in Boston, this is where you need to go. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so my dad. Yeah, I've just been thinking a lot about him lately, and I've just felt him around me, and you know, you see little signs everywhere. I won't go into my signs, because you know when you see a sign and you're like, that means a lot to you, then you'd explain it, and someone's like, oh, you know, anyway, I just know it, and it's terrific to think about. I've had a lot of experiences actually in my life where I've seen the evidence of presence of people who've moved on to heaven before me, and I'm really grateful for that. I believe deeply in that, and I believe it's true for you as well. I believe your loves and your people who've gone on before, I think they're still involved. And that was the thing Melissa dreamed, that he was really aware of what was going on in our life at that moment, and he'd heard the prayers of people around us, and he was in on it, and he was collaborating and caring. So I say that to say, I think if we understand that our work as singers deepens and gets more significant, because the event of a song, of sharing a song, is me opening my soul, opening my heart to invite your heart to come visit with me. And you can tell if someone's invited you in or not. You can tell if someone is singing from ego or if someone is singing from love. And I think if you remember that there is a real essential you, so mysterious, I don't understand it, I believe it to be true. If you believe that your very breath is an interaction of the communication of your soul, and you invite people, I got a walk sign here today, you invite people into that. People don't know what's in there, but they know whether or not they're invited. So if you remember that before you sing, if you've done your work, your preparation, trust that. Open your heart and have the intention of inviting people in to that. And I think you're going to see your singing take on a more satisfying experience. I think that was come on, Duncan. Yeah, so, all right, that's what I wanted to share today. Who's the real essential you that is sharing this? And the amazing thing about being a theater singer especially, is that the real, oh no, my book fell out of my pocket. All right, I got it. There. See, that sounded like a 46-year-old man picking something up. Like dad sounds, they say when you become a dad, you start to make dad sounds. Well, yeah. So there's a dad sound for you. Check out my dad mug too. Isn't that, that's so cute. I mean, so sweet. All right. Your soul is beautiful. There's only one you that God made, and I want you to let yourself share songs and stories in only the way that you can. Oh, and the thing, anyway, I just saw a number that always reminds me of Dad, so that was just cool. There's only one soul, and every song that you sing has a different ego identity. So if I'm looking through Billy Bigelow's eyes, or if I'm looking through Elphaba's eyes, if I'm looking through little orphan Annie's eyes, three very different people, one soul, that's you, that gets to interpret that story in your own way. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. I don't know, I'm just thinking about the whole body soul thing, and your body is important. Your body's a gift. Your body is precious. It's to be taken care of and moisturized, right? And your soul is precious. And that's the essence of what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm talking about too. So my dad's number, he was born in 47. So I see his 47 everywhere. There's his 47, okay? And I was born in 77. So sevens are big in my life. And so I'll always see the 47 and the 77 in close succession. So there's the 77. They'll just show up all the time together. So So I love you, Dad, and I'm grateful for you. And I want you to remember that your loved ones are around you and cheering you on in ways that you can't even see or understand. And I just know it's a thing. And I want you to let your soul open up, invite in, and share in a really satisfying way. All right. I'm sending love to you today, and I hope you have a terrific day. Go sing something, share something, do something that's creative, that your soul is nudging you to do. If it's scary, even better. All right, lots of love. Bye. Oh, where's the button? There you are.